Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, because, well, the fact of the matter is, they are not as good as we all anticipated. They currently have a record of 24-25, and the team is very sporadic. I'm gonna say that. They have times where they beat good teams, and then they have times where they lose to bad teams. It's very inconsistent. Darvin Ham is a guy that is going to lose his job. I will say that if he makes it to the end of the season, I would be very, very surprised. He's a guy that I feel like, you know, if he's still on the team at the end of the season, he's not going to be going into next season. Like Darvin Ham's lineups are all very, very weird. 1 week Cam Reddish is a starter, then another week Austin Reeves is a starter, then after that it's Jared Vanderbilt. The guy can't make up his fucking mind on a roster that works or a starting lineup that works. This is a team that really needs help on both sides of the ball, not just offense. They need help on the defensive side of the ball. Alex Caruso would be cool if they could get him back from the Chicago Bulls. He's a guy that I feel like would help this team out tremendously. Even a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets, he's a guy that would be a nice addition. The problem with this team is whenever Anthony Davis or LeBron James doesn't play, they simply look like a fucking G League team. And even when one of those guys sits out, if both of them aren't playing, the team looks fucking horrendous. So there's really a whole lot going on there that I'm just like, I don't know if they're going to be, honestly, I don't even know if they're going to be a playoff team. Like, you know, if they lose, like right now it seems like they're on the losing side a lot more than the winning side. And if that happens, it's kind of like, okay, well, are they going to be a play-in team? Are they going to, you know, make a big move? You know, does that help? I know this is a team that's been rumored to be in the conversation for DeJounte Murray. The thing is, I just don't know how much DeJounte Murray actually moves the needle for them. And then if you're Atlanta, do you really want D'Angelo Russell for DeJounte Murray? You know, like, that's the other side of this, is like, if you're Atlanta, do you really want to take on another point guard just to get rid of a point guard and specifically get back a worse point guard than the one you're giving up? You know what I'm saying? Because DeJounte Murray is significantly better than D'Angelo Russell. I don't care what anybody says. But the other thing is, like, this team doesn't need help on the three-point line. That's another thing. You know, D'Angelo Russell's shooting the three very well. LeBron is shooting the three very well. Rui Hachimura is actually shooting the three very well. Austin Reeves has only been 34%, 35% this year. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. You know, this is a team that I'm just like, a lot of people have them linked to Buddy Hield and DeJounte Murray, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think they trade for either of them. I don't think they trade for Buddy Hield. They don't really need three-point shooting that desperately. And the DeJounte Murray stuff just simply doesn't make sense. If you're Atlanta, why the fuck would you give up a point guard to get back a point guard unless you're getting Rui Hachimura with it or Austin Reeves or something like that? And even in the event of something like that happening, you know, if you're the Lakers, you're giving up more than you're getting back. And, you know, at that point, the idea of acquiring DeJounte Murray kind of offsets itself. You know, if you got to give up a guy like Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves in order to acquire DeJounte Murray and, you know, potentially somebody else, I just simply don't think it makes them that much of a better team. And honestly, like, I'm of the mindset that a LeBron James led team is no longer a guaranteed, you know, finals appearance. I know they went last year, but, you know, the league has changed a lot. You know, this past offseason, a lot of teams got better. You know, Minnesota and Oklahoma City are two of the teams at the top of the Western Conference at the current point in time. Even the Houston Rockets. Like, the Houston Rockets were a team that, you know, just last year were like one of the worst teams in the league. Now, they're like a bona fide play-in team. You know, and honestly, like, ever since they got Ime Udoka, they had a really good NBA draft. They signed Fred VanVleet. They signed Dylan Brooks. Jabari Smith and them boys been playing some fucking defense. I'm just gonna let you know, like, they're not gonna be an easy out. You know, if they play a team in the playoffs, and let's say Houston makes the playoffs via the play-in or something like that, they're not gonna be an easy out. I understand they're a young team, but Alperen Sengun has been arguably an all-star this year. Alperen Şengün has been very good. So, you're the Los Angeles Lakers, and you're playing in a Western Conference that's got, a pretty stacked Phoenix Suns team that I think is going to start winning more games now that they have all three of their star players available. The Nuggets are still good. The Clippers traded for James Harden. It looks like they got better. So, at least last year they had a couple things going for them. Houston wasn't that good. The Timberwolves were, an average team. OKC wasn't that good. The Clippers seem to be depending on which way the wind blew, if whether or not Kyrie or if Kawhi Leonard or Paul George were going to play. Now they have James Harden also, and they're starting to look like a cohesive unit. If you're the Lakers, you need a lot, and if you really want to make a serious finals run this year, but I just simply don't think they have enough cap flexibility to make something like that happen. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are two guys that are always, they always seem to be questionable for the games they're playing, where, every single night it seems like, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are game time decisions. So I really don't know, man. I don't really know what the Lakers could do to make this team better. I mean, Jonathan Isaac, I'm pretty positive, is out there, but he's not really the epitome of offense. He's still a damn good defensive player, though. I will say that. But his contract is $17 million a year. So, how much do you really want to take on? This is a team that needs a lot of help. I guarantee there's going to be guys out there. Matisse Thybulle's out there. Matisse Thybulle could be a nice pickup. But they really need guys that are capable of playing offense and defense. And the teams that have guys like that are reluctant to give them up. If you look at the Nets with Mikal Bridges, even though they should blow up the roster, right? They're probably not going to, because they like Mikal Bridges so much. And, I know Spencer Dinwiddie's another guy that they could maybe go after. Kyrie Irving, I feel like would be a nice addition for the Lakers. I don't know if the Dallas Mavericks would want to come off of Kyrie Irving for D'Angelo Russell plus some stuff. I don't know if that's a possibility, but being that Kyrie really wanted to play with LeBron, that's something that I give a little bit of thought to. But I do know the Mavericks paid him a pretty hefty contract for, all the bullshit that he tends to put teams through and stuff like that. So I really don't know. A Kyrie Irving trade would be ideal almost, I think, because honestly they suffer more on offense than they do on defense. So I feel like a Kyrie Irving trade would be a bit ideal for them. But it's something that I just, if you want Kyrie Irving, I have a feeling they're gonna have to give up Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura to make that happen. And if that's the case, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, I feel like you're giving up too much for that. The other side of the coin here is another trade they could do is Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan to the Lakers for who else? Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, and maybe a first round pick, or a future first round pick down the road. DeMar DeRozan's a guy who can play both sides of the ball, even at 34 years old. As much as people want to say he sucks, he doesn't. And Alex Caruso has been averaging a career high in points per game. He's shooting 48% from the field and 40% from three this year, while averaging 1.5 steals a game. And he's a good on-ball defender. So, that's another possibility is Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan go to the Lakers for, two young guys. Just to give LeBron and Anthony Davis that extra boost. You get the defense at the point guard position you're looking for while getting a scoring punch in DeMar DeRozan, who's on an expiring deal. That works out well for both teams, because then the Chicago Bulls get a guy like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. They get younger, and the Lakers get more of what they're looking for as far as experience and defense goes. So honestly, the last trade is probably the one that I like the best out of all of them, just because if you're the Lakers, you get both of something you're looking for. But all I know is the Lakers have not been the typical Lakers. They have not been a team that that I'm overly confident in this year. They're a team that I feel like maybe if they make the playoffs, they'll squeak into the play-in. But even if they squeak into the play-ins, like in the first round, you're going to have to play Minnesota. And Minnesota's been playing very good, but, you know, Karl Anthony Towns tends to be shit in the playoffs. So, I don't know. But Anthony Edwards has reached another level. Rudy Gobert is still there. Naz Reid is still there. You know, like they're a solid team. You know, same thing with Oklahoma City. They have Chet Holmgren now. You know, they have Kaysen Wallace. They have SGA. They have Jalen Williams. Like OKC is a relatively deep team for how young they are. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't really know what the Lakers can do, but the fact of the matter is their team has not been as, you know, jaw-dropping as we traditionally expect them to be. I understand that LeBron usually picks up his game after the All-Star break as well. Usually after the All-Star break, LeBron James just hits another gear, usually, and, you know, can backpack the team. I know he did it last year with Anthony Davis being injured, but you know, you really have to ask yourself how many days of that are left in LeBron James, you know. Don't get me wrong, LeBron is still a very good player, arguably still a top 10 player in the league. But, you know, at some point, Father Time has to win against LeBron James. At some point in time. I don't know when that's going to come. But honestly, the shit that LeBron James has been doing at the ages he's been doing it at is unbelievable. And I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. But you know, you never know. It's LeBron, so I don't know, man. All I know is this shit just does not look good. It doesn't look good for the Lakers. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.